On today's episode, we go into a true crime story of a whole entire family, a business partner, and the biggest question surrounding all of it: murder or Mexico? You may remember this from headlines, as I remember parts of it on the news. I remember the part where they released the footage of the car at the Mexican border, or the family at the Mexican border, and going, yeah, that really does look like them. And then I reviewed this case and was like, oh wow, I remember that. I just don't think I have ever really followed how it unraveled. So going through this case kind of blew my mind a little, and I hope it blows yours. So here we go. Was it murder or Mexico? The chilling case of the McStay family murders. The McStay family murders occurred on or near February 4th, 2010, after the family disappeared from their home in Fallbrook, California. Their bodies were found in the desert near Victorville, California on November 13th, 2013. Their disappearance was widely reported by the national news media.
The man accused of murdering the McStay family left DNA evidence on the steering wheel of the family's vehicle. That vehicle was found abandoned at the border a few days after their disappearance in 2010, but the DNA was not matched to the defendant, Charles Merritt, until 2014. This is all according to newly unsealed search warrants affidavits just released today.
On November 7, 2014, police announced that they had arrested Charles Chase Merritt, Joseph McStay's business partner, and intended to charge him with the murders. The trial began on January 7, 2019, in San Bernardino. On June 10, 2019, a jury found Merritt guilty of murdering the McStay family.
Of the killing of the McStay family of Fallbrook has been sentenced to death. 62-year-old Chase Merritt was defiant. He said he was innocent.
Chase, you are a low-life coward and a baby killer, and labeled that. Just a monster.
He was sentenced to death on January 21st, 2020. In 2010, Joseph McStay, age 40, and his wife Summer, age 43, lived in Fallbrook, California, with their sons Gianni, age 4, and Joseph Jr., age 3. Joseph owned and operated Earth Inspired Products, a company that built decorative fountains, and Summer was a licensed real estate agent. Summer was born Virginia Lisa Aranda, and had also been known as Summer Martinelli. On February 4, 2010, at 7:47 p.m., a neighbor's surveillance system captured the bottom 18 inches of a vehicle, thought at the time to be the McStay's family 1996 Isuzu Trooper. In the surveillance recording, the vehicle's occupants could not be seen. At 8:28 p.m., a call was placed from Joseph's cell phone to his business associate, Charles Chase Merritt, which went to voicemail. Merritt later told police that he ignored the voicemail because he was watching a movie. Joseph's cell phone pinged a tower in Fallbrook. Over the next several days, relatives of the McStays unsuccessfully tried to contact the family. On February 13th, Joseph's brother Michael traveled to the McStay residence and, upon finding an open window in back, climbed in and gained entry into the home. Michael did not find any of the family at home, and their 2 dogs were in the backyard. On February 15th, Michael phoned the San Diego County Sheriff's Department and reported that his brother and his family was missing. Officers arrived at the home and requested a search warrant. The search warrant was executed on February 19, 2010. Although a search of the house found no evidence of struggle or foul play, there were indications of a hasty departure. A carton of eggs had been left on the counter, and 2 child-sized bowls of popcorn sat on the sofa. During their investigation, the police learned that around 11 p.m. on February 8th, the family's trooper had been towed from a strip mall parking lot in San Ysidro, San Diego, near the Mexican border. It was believed to have been parked there between 5:30 and 7 that evening. The car's location from February 4th to February 8th remains unknown. On November 11, 2013, a motorcyclist found 4 sets of human remains buried in 2 shallow graves in the desert near Victorville, California. Patrick McStay, Joseph's father, was informed of the discovery and phoned missing person advocate Jerry Dean to tell her what he knew. Dean stated in her blog that she just finished producing a radio show for San Diego station, KNSJ, when she received the call, and that she asked whether she could tell her followers what he had told her. 2 days later, 2 sets of remains were officially identified as those of the Joseph and Summer McStay. The deaths were ruled a homicide, and San Bernardino County authorities said they believe the family died of blunt force trauma inside their home, but declined to discuss specifics of the deaths or the motive. The circumstances surrounding the family's disappearance and the lack of clues about their whereabouts triggered speculation by amateur sleuths. Radio host Rick Baker published a book, No Goodbyes: The Mysterious Disappearance of the McStay Family. Baker began following the case in 2013 after interviewing Michael McStay on his program. He conducted dozens of interviews on the case, traveling to Mexico, Belize, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. Followed leads and reported sightings of the family. In the book, he speculated that Summer might have committed the murders. When the bodies were found, he offered a refund to those who purchased his book before November 2013. After their disappearance, it was speculated that the McStays left voluntarily, since investigators found searches on the family's computer for what documents do children need for traveling to Mexico, and Spanish language lessons. Because their car was found so close to the Mexican border, police reviewed surveillance footage of the pedestrian gate into Mexico. Video recorded the evening of February 8th, released on March 5th, showed a family of 4 resembling the McStays crossing the border. On February 19th, California police notified Interpol to be on the lookout for the family. In April 2013, the San Diego Sheriff's Department announced that they had believed the McStays traveled to Mexico voluntarily. Unconfirmed sightings of the family were reported in Mexico and elsewhere, perpetuating hopes that they were safe and had left voluntarily. Relatives of the McStays doubted that they would travel to Mexico, saying that Joseph and Summer avoided the country because of the safety threat posed by recent drug wars. Other critics of the theory noted that the McStays had more than $100,000 in bank accounts, with no withdrawal of funds in preparation for a trip, and their accounts were untouched after their disappearance. Summer's sister stated that her passport was expired. Although it was possible for a U.S. citizen to enter Mexico without a passport, one is required to re-enter the United States. Investigators and the public also focused on Merritt, who was the last known person to have contact with Joseph, and the first to notice his disappearance. According to state records, Merritt had felony convictions for burglary and receiving stolen property. His most recent felony conviction, in 2001, was for the theft of $32,000 worth of welding and drilling equipment from San Gabriel Valley Ornamental Iron Works in Monrovia, California. An acquaintance of Merritt's told a San Diego reporter, "I think police should look at him and anyone associated with him." In 2013, Merritt acknowledged that he had spent more than half an hour with Joseph the day McStay family went missing. Merritt, who reportedly was the last person Joseph called from his cell phone, also said that he had passed the polygraph test and did not know anything that could help solve the mystery of the family's disappearance. When asked if he thought Merritt was a suspect, Joseph's father Patrick said, "I have to have faith in Chase because I have to have faith in my son." I believe that Joseph trusted Chase and believed in Chase. Do I think Chase is involved? I don't think so, and I truly hope not. In January 2014, Merritt said that he might write a book about the family, alleging that Summer had anger issues and that Joseph had been ill for some time with a mysterious ailment. Joseph's family confirmed that he had an unexplained illness and that Summer was possessive of her husband, but they called Merritt's suggestion that she was responsible for his illness unfounded. Patrick said, "I truly believe she loved my son." On November 5th, 2014, detectives from San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department arrested Merritt in connection with the deaths of the McStay family after discovering that his DNA had been recovered from their car. His arrest was announced on November 7, 2014. Merritt was charged with 4 counts of murder, and the district attorney sought the death penalty. In July 2015, Merritt's defense attorney filed a request to have the case dismissed because of the wording used by prosecution when the charges were filed. According to arrest warrant affidavits filed in the case, autopsies concluded that all 4 victims had been beaten to death with a blunt object, and investigators believe the murder weapon was a 3-pound sledgehammer, which was found in the grave containing the remains of Summer and her son. Investigators testified they believe the victims were tortured before they were killed. Prosecutors alleged that Merritt had a gambling problem and killed the McStay family for financial gain. They said that he wrote checks totaling more than $21,000 on Joseph's business account in the days after the family was killed, and then went on a gambling spree at nearby casinos where he lost thousands of dollars. Merritt's trial was delayed as he repeatedly fired his attorneys or attempted to represent himself. As of February 2016, he had gone through 5 attorneys. In January 2018, a trial-setting conference was scheduled for February 23rd. Merritt's attorney filed a motion in San Bernardino Superior Court on April 7, 2018, arguing that Joseph's business and accounting records were hearsay evidence, and therefore inadmissible. On May 4th, the case was scheduled to go to trial in July 2018. The trial finally began on January 7, 2019, in a San Bernardino court, with both sides making opening statements. On June 10, 2019, a San Bernardino County jury found Merritt guilty of murdering the McStay family.
This despicable, evil monster had brutally beat my family. How could you beat 2 precious little babies?
One that's heartless, a man that is the face of evil.
On June 24th, the jury recommended that Merritt be sentenced to death. The court upheld the jury's recommendation and Merritt was sentenced to death on January 21st, 2020.